Hi everybody and welcome to Belongcast. I'm Diana. Unfortunately Sammy is ill today, so I'm going to be taking this episode by myself. I want to start with the really to say thank you. We are, as of now, we're being hosted on Palmyra, and this is our first completely video episode, so I'm super excited. Some things might get a little bit wrong, and that's okay because that's what we do. So I'm not alone today, and I'm here with Peter Ketelaars. We have talked in last episode together with Sammy. Peter is a teacher in the Dutch educational system, and as we know, this is something that we are really struggling with as the internationals. He also written the guide about navigating Dutch educational system. And last episode we spoke about various tests that we have and the important things to know, and we promised you that next time we're going to have a discussion a little bit more about neurodivergent challenges and everything that has to do with more specialized education within the Dutch educational regular system. So I will give the opportunity to Peter to say a few words about himself. So.
Hi, well, thank you for having me. As you said, I'm a teacher for more than 20 years now. I've written that guide, and you asked me to be interviewed, so I'm here.
Yes. So I want you to tell us your story, because you have neurodivergent. I'll let you take it.
Yeah, well, as a child, I struggled at school because my writing skills were not up to scratch. Calculating was easy as can be, but reading I really struggled with. And at the end of primary school, the beginning of secondary school, I was diagnosed dyslexic, and that made a lot of sense. I can still have troubles spelling and all that. But it made going to school quite a bit harder. It made studying quite a bit harder. And but the cool thing about the Dutch education system is that if you want to, and if you are willing to sit it out, it's very forgiving. If you struggle, you can always stack. You can always go a level up after you're on your level. And that's what I did, and I ended up with my master's.
Well, that's very inspiring, but not everybody has that kind of inner drive, perhaps. There's more challenges. I mean, we have dyslexia, there are some children that suffer from ADHD, some are on the spectrum of autism. How do the Dutch education, because from what I learned, if you have this kind of neurodivergent issues, you not necessarily go to a special education. You are incorporated into a Dutch educational system, just regular schools. And why is that?
About 20 years ago, we had a change in law, a change in system, where we would go back to school together, samen naar school, it's called. Where the ideal was, the philosophy was that the students that have special needs do best if they really integrate into the Dutch society overall. If they interact with as much different types of kids as possible, if they are able to go to a regular school. It was done to give them better chances of reaching their own goals themselves, and to relieve some stress of special education as it was. As there were kids that didn't necessarily have to go to special education, so they went to the normal schools, so that the special education could truly specialize on the hard cases. And the somewhat autistic kids, the ADHD kids and all that are in the regular classes nowadays.
Okay, and I know this is not your specialty because you're a teacher in a regular school, but could you just give a little overview of kind of the baseline of the special education? I mean, not when you go, of course, if you have mild neurodivergent issues, you can incorporate, but there are issues that indeed apply for you to go, because I know there's, from what I read in the guide, is that there are several levels, and each level is dedicated to a particular issue.
There are several. The thing is, kids that have disabilities that are more physical have different needs than kids that are neurodivergent. So it doesn't make sense to have a specialized school that's specialized in everything, because then it's no longer specialized.
Yeah, indeed.
These kids go to different places. There's some generalization going on there, of course. Not every kid has his own specialized school, but the goal of every of those specialized schools is to get them back in Gen Pop. Now it sounds like a prison school.
Well, for some it is.
Oh, that's for some who really treat it like that.
I know that you always loved school, but there are some, like for me, school was never a place that I enjoyed going, so.
No. Oh, the fun thing about Dutch education is the kids that like school the least spend the most time there.
Yeah, that's the paradox.
I mean, they have to do extra time during the day, and they usually have to redo a year, because that's something that's too. We redo years if you don't make it.
Yeah, I think everybody does that, no?
Yes, but it is in the Dutch education system a bit more normal than it is in...
there's less shame around it.
There's way less shame. It's just something that's needed and necessary sometimes. And everybody can have a bad year. And so you redo the year. That's completely normal.
Yeah. So going back to the levels of how is it called in Dutch, the special education?
There are several ones. The LWO is one of them.
No,
but
I think that there's like a name for all of it.
Speciaal onderwijs? But
passend onderwijs?
Passend onderwijs.
So passend onderwijs, that's the Dutch name for the special education?
No, that's special education at the regular schools.
Okay. So the special schools are the special
passend, making it fit. That's the Dutch word, passend, making it fit.
I thought it was just the special.
And there's passend onderwijscoördinator and making it fit coordinator at every Dutch high school for especially doing this. The kids that come there with these needs will get their own personalized plan to make sure that they get the care they need, to make sure that the teacher is not overworked trying to keep track of everything. It needs to be doable, because in a regular school there can be at least 30 kids in one class. And however, I think I'm Superman. I am not. And I can't do that all. Yeah. So there.
Okay. Well, thank you. You know, as a teacher, you work daily with children who have different learning disabilities. Not disabilities, but learning needs, right? You probably, because like you said, the children with neurodivergent challenges are integrated completely into regular school, so you have classes that are mixed. How you as a teacher deal with that?
I deal with that with what's within my possibility. I mean, I have 30 kids. I need to manage them all. But if Nienke really does work better when I go up to her and ask if she understood the assignment well, and then explain it directly to her again, that's what I will do. But I really truly don't see it differently from having Dex sitting 2 rows back, who's just a bit too much a teenager and needs that kind of same attention too. We're all different. None of us are the same. We all have special needs, and it's up to me as a teacher to fine-tune and manage all those.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can you paint? Do you have stories about something that can be interesting to the international folks? You know, how does usually the classroom look like?
That's a weird question. No, I don't know where you go.
I mean, during the day, let's say you have you're a physics teacher.
Yeah.
So do you see a difference between children that, I don't know, do they struggle more in the exams? Do they have like a special times? How does it really go here? Do they have a special...
Okay, so there are so many different ways of answering this. The true answer to your question is yes, no. In the way that if you're dyslexic here and you have your official stamp, you will have to bring your letter of, hey, I'm dyslexic, to your school, and then the zorgcoördinator, the coordinator that does the care for the kids, will make it possible.
It's like a school counselor.
Yeah, that's the closest thing. The school nurse, kinda, between those two. There's not really an equivalent that I know of from American movies. She will put it in your dossier, and as soon as it's in your dossier, you're allowed to request extra time for your official test. You can get up to 10 minutes, an hour extra on top of your classes, because when you're dyslexic, your reading might be slower, so it will take you extra time. And that's not because you're not getting it. You do get it, the subject. The
challenges are different, yeah.
But you need to process that more slowly. I've had autistic kids that needed a seat on the left side of the room, because on the right side he would not get the assignments. He would just not understand, but sitting on the left he understood. So he was sitting on the left all the time. It's really depending on the kid itself. And there are some general rules, like with dyslexia, like with ADHD, that there are extra times, extra equipment. Most schools give Claro read, where the laptop will be read out the
and that
test.
Doesn't interfere with the children, or they have headphones?
They have headphones.
Okay, I didn't know
There are
that.
all kinds of personalized adjustments a school is allowed to make, even for the national exams. So if you have a kid that has need of those things, go to the school, show your official stamp, and things will move.
Okay, and talking about the official stamps, I know in many countries where usually the first person who noticed that something might be not like everybody else, there's some kind of maybe neurodivergent issue, are the teachers. And then the teachers approach the parents and say, listen, you need to take your kid to be tested. Is it here the same way, or does it go the other way around?
Both ways happen. Sometimes I see kids really struggling and think, well, it's not that you're not getting it, there's something else wrong, and then I will go to my colleagues and we'll discuss it in the team and say, oh, maybe there's something. And then from there we go through the mentor, because the mentor is the central person in class, back to the parents, say, hey, this is happening, maybe you want to test. Some teachers will do that on personal note too, but they will say, I think, not we think, it will come from personal. But more often nowadays than it was 20 years ago, just parents come to me and ask, hey, I think my kid might be, what do you think? And then I can say yes or no. As soon as it's being tested, a part of that test will be some questionnaire towards the school too, in most cases. Yeah. So I will be asked anyways.
Yeah. So do you think international parents that come already from the country of origin with the diagnosis, is it enough here, or they're going to be requested to redo a diagnosis to confirm it? Because there are many countries that kind of very fast on a trigger of definition.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that in most cases you will have to redo it. Okay. It needs to be officially recognized.
Yeah, by the Dutch authorities. Okay.
Yes.
And these kind of, I mean, maybe you don't know this because you're a teacher, and that's why I'm asking. does this, there are specialized organizations, or so let's say an international parent, after the child integrates into the Dutch educational system.
How to get your stamp?
Yeah, how to get your stamp. I mean, do you go to a teacher or to a zorg coordinator that you say?
You discuss it at school, see what the school thinks.
Yeah.
And as soon as school thinks too, from well, this might be something that you should look into, you have to go to your GP, and from the GP you will be referred to the right person to get your assessment of ADHD, autism, or any of those.
Yeah. Let me ask you a different question, because international kids, they have of course the barrier of the language. One of the things, and of course with my children as well when we came here, is they were placed because of the challenges of the language. Although first they came into the taal centrums when they were in sufficient level of Dutch, then they were placed into the Dutch schools, but they actually went a class or a group lower than their age group.
Yeah.
So if my youngest son was supposed to go to the group, to the 7th group, he went to the 6th, and my eldest son, he, instead of going to the 2nd class, he went to the 1st class. So this kind of thing, when we have a child that there's a barrier of a language, how can you assess that indeed the difficulties that the child is having is just not just language barrier? Are there gaps here that can be overlooked?
Well, no system is perfect, so overlooking can be done absolutely. But I don't need to see if there's something overlooked. What I will do is I will give a recommendation if there's a chance of, and then an official therapist, psychologist, a team of doctors will start looking into it and do the real diagnosis. Can they still miss things? Yes, of course, because they're still human.
Yeah.
But it will be a team of highly educated people assessing your kid to see if there is indeed cause to think that he or she has this or that. Yes. How the language deficiency plays into it. Most of those therapies can be done with English-speaking therapists nowadays too, so they skip the Dutch barrier there a bit. Of course, not everybody speaks fluently English as well, but no, in general, I don't think it should be a big thing.
Okay. And speaking honestly,
Honestly.
Yes, now you should speak honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for now I know we'll do it with others.
Yeah. So, are the teachers really fully prepared with everything that's going on? You know, to handle kids that are have these kind of challenges? I mean, or you're just winging it? Is there some kind of courses that as a teacher you take? You know, how do you know to do that? Honestly.
Honestly, okay. Yes and no. Yes, we do get courses. Yes, we do take a part of our education to become teacher is about this. Yes, we do get development psychology. Yes, we really come prepared into classes. We're not winging our classes and all that. But, and that is the no.
That but was very heavy.
Yeah.
Gather yourself.
Yes, indeed. But the classroom can be overwhelming on its own. Yeah. Not every classroom is solely made up out of teenagers that really want to study. I mean, I know this comes as a stressor, especially for somebody that has more Slavic roots of classroom. But not every teenager really wants to learn. I can't understand it. I mean, everybody wants to learn all the time. Give me more assignments. That's what I was. But
you were the perfect kid.
Strangely enough, not everybody thinks that's fun.
Indeed.
And if that, and in some classes, especially in the lower years of secondary education, takes the overhand, yeah, then the kids that have special needs are the first to be shorted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first most thing that a teacher needs to establish and needs to do is a quiet and peaceful classroom where learning is possible. And if that takes 100% of my effort, then that's where 100% of my effort will go to.
Okay. You know, and you were telling about, you give an example whether it's indeed happen or not, about a child with autism that were needed to sit on the left side of the classroom. How does the rest of the class, the classmates?
Oh, but this is so sweet of class.
Yeah.
They always just accept. The kids have a reputation for brutality. But what I see every day in my classes is such a capacity for sympathy, especially with these kids. They go, yeah, of course, Willem, that's Willem. Willem is just a bit different, that's fine. Go sit there, Willem. Oh, sorry, I was on your spot, Willem. Oh, it's no problem. I will go. Yeah, there's no problems. They can be so compassionate, so sweet, and they truly understand.
Yeah, well, that's nice to hear because I mean there's so much bullying and so much. I mean, kid that has struggles.
Yeah, I know there is, but so much is something that I really not recognize in the Dutch education system.
Well,
I know
maybe not in Dutch educational system, but I know, globally speaking, there is a lot of shame around being different. There's a lot of kids try to, shy away, to hide the challenges that they're having, up to the point that they deteriorate in the school. And
but there's the difference with the Dutch education system, I think. The thing with in high performance countries where the push is really to be the best you can. If you have a problem, it makes that you cannot be part of the top. Of course it's shaming. But the Dutch education system is a completely different beast. It's about, you are okay. Oh no, you're okay. Go sit. Do your thing. You're okay. Did well? Great. And find your own pace. The idea is to find your own space, find your own ideas about teaching, find out who you want to be, become that. Yes? You're not going to be pushed. Yes? And if it takes you a bit longer to get what you need, that's perfectly fine. Relax, you will get there. As long as the surroundings are pleasurable, as long as the surroundings are comfortable, why would you want to claw yourself out? If you know, and every kid knows in the end, that by being in an educational system, you become something that you can be better. And I know that the Dutch education system has a horrible thing about what was it again? No, that's how you might say it.
Well, not just me, a lot of parents struggle with that, international parents.
The Dutch kids are the happiest in the world.
Indeed.
And the most poorly motivated kids in the world. Yes?
Yeah.
And in the Dutch schools, we're not pushing the kids to excel to extremes. But in the same time, over the past 20 years, 10 years, 50 years, the Dutch education system has been at the top of the lists in performance. Has been the Netherlands is one of the biggest knowledge countries in the world, and that's not because our education system is poor. It's not because what we do doesn't work. Actually, it really works. Look at how many Nobel Prizes we get for being such a small country.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, okay. And on that note, somebody who is, I'm just asking because we did speak about it outside of this forum, that recently you had somebody interning, that he was with autism and he was interning to become a teacher. So if you really have neurodivergency, it doesn't prevent you from becoming a teacher, really going up in high. How do you think somebody who has a neurodivergency becomes a teacher? how do you think it's easier, more difficult? If we have some.
I think it's more difficult, but at the same time, I think he can't not be who he isn't. So in everywhere where he comes, he needs to be himself and deal with how he sees the world and how the world will interact with him. It doesn't matter if he is in a place A, B, or C. Teacher is just one of those places. And what I've seen over the years is that if you know your subject, if you have some social graces, but also being just very, very real, very true to yourself, the kids will take you.
That's nice.
And finding that sweet spot is the thing that a good teacher does.
So it doesn't matter if you are.
I think it does matter. In extremes, it does.
Yeah.
But this young man wasn't in extremes.
Yeah, no, good. But you think as what is the hardest part of supporting, the situation, the children, or the upcoming teachers, the next generation of teachers? Because we are living at a time when there's more and more and more neurodivergency. So how do you see the future? Do you think here in the educational system?
Well, the problem there is that with more and more, it's already happening. Passend onderwijs was great. More kids went out of special education into the regular education. This effect has already been reversed. Last time I read something, it was said that the special education is now fuller than it was before. And the kids are still at our schools too. There's a tax to it, especially with the shortage of teachers that is happening at the moment. It will become harder and harder. And regretfully, the kids with special needs, be it by neurodivergency, being too much of a teenager, will be the first ones to suffer the consequences of that teacher shortage. That's because teacher shortages, kids still need to be taught.
Yeah, indeed.
And that means fuller classrooms, less contact hours, and that means that I have less and less time for the special needs.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask maybe a little bit controversial question. So medication. There are some countries that children are obligated taking medications. There are countries that actually do not allow children to walk into school without taking particular medications, and I know even some countries that teachers medicate the students. How is this, about especially ADHD?
I don't know how much paracetamol and ADHD
it also goes. Oh my God! It's a wonder drug.
Yes,
really, it helps everything. You have a broken foot, it helps you. You have a migraine, it helps you. You have ADHD, apparently, it helps you. What else does it help?
It's miracle supplement.
Yes, maybe I should invest into
paracetamol.
Yes.
No, the Dutch state has ownership.
Well, I am Dutch now. Maybe I can be part of that ownership because this is sounds very lucrative.
Yes. No. We asked parents to medicate some kids when we see that it is very, very necessary. But we never make it mandatory. Okay. In my previous school, we had some medication of certain kids in a refrigerator somewhere, so if they needed to take it again, they could. But we're very careful as Dutchies with medicating. Yeah. And this is just a consequence of that. I remember a conversation I had only a few months ago that I would recommend that this kid would take his medication at least in the week before and during the test week, so he could concentrate on studying and on the test. But I actually understand that he doesn't want to if he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And do you see the differences?
Oh yes, but with some, definitely. And with some, no.
Okay.
So it's really personal too.
Yeah.
And the consequences of those medications are more severe than just being able to concentrate. So I think the kids and the parents need to find their own way through it.
Mm. So what is the one thing that you wish every international parent knew before the child walked through the Dutch education door?
That they will be in an not competitive environment.
The only thing that international parents strive for, to push their kids, this is the only thing you say that they should not do here.
It's just not going to be the case.
How can you change that? I mean, I come from a country that is competitive, and many people do that, and you know, because I find it very challenging that there's no that.
I have taught for a long time at a school of kids that were very pushed, and I think that the parents should push somewhat. Okay, because I do see that when parents push, more comes out of it. No pushing will certainly result in lower results. But there is this pressure point where if you go over, the pushing will only result in very teenage behavior. And teenage behavior in an environment that Dutch schools are, that doesn't allow that pushing. Every one of its peers will have no pushing. Yeah? So if you lose that connection with your son, with your daughter, because you're too pushy, he will just look at his peers, who he will connect to at that point, and see, hey, but they're not doing it. You're bullshitting me. I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So as long as you can manage your relationship with your kid, keep it good, keep it well. You can push as far as that relationship will go, but only as far as that relationship will go.
And what do you think we are living post-COVID times? And how do you see the change in the educational system and with the kids because of that?
Yeah, that's a hard one. We're still struggling with it. I think we're still seeing the backlashes of it. The amount of kids that have need of therapy that are in the GGZ, the
JGZ?
JGZ, yes.
Yeah.
The youth mental health care here in the Netherlands has tripled. The amount of extra personnel to manage all that extra need in schools has risen with 84%.
Oh wow!
And the subsidies that we got from the government have ended, but the needs have not ended. So this is going to cause problems the coming years because we do need the personnel, but we don't have the money. And everybody's looking around, scrambling to see how we can keep up. Yeah. Because if we don't, some kids will definitely miss the boat.
So basically, if I suspect that my child has difficulties, I first need to go to GP?
Talk to your mentor first. Talk to the mentor of the school of your kid first. See if he mirrors things the same or thinks, oh no.
So first we approach the school.
Yeah.
Talking to the mentor of the child.
Always the first one to go to.
Okay, so after we spoke with the mentor and let's say mentor sees that there's something that perhaps should be addressed, then we go to GP.
Yeah, then he will say, go to your GP, ask for this and this, and your GP will forward you to the right addresses.
Does the mentor needs to issue a letter for the GP?
No.
Okay. So basically I can just go by myself after I've spoken to the mentor, I go to the GP and explain the situation, and then GP makes it. Does GP directly gives me referral to a specialist, or there's a conversation?
No, there's conversation. He or she will assess how much necessary it is.
Yeah.
That's why having the school written in already is handy, because then it's not just your own worries, but also the worries of a professional, which will make the GP more likely to refer you. Yes.
Refer you.
Refer you. Yes.
To give you a referral.
Yes. Refer you. Thank you for helping me with my English. And then regretfully you probably have to wait 3 to 6 months, because all those all the JGZ's are full.
Yeah. GGZ and JGZ.
Completely up to the noses in people. And then they will start. And then they will first start with a diagnosis.
Yeah, that can take a while as well.
And that take a while. And then they will refer you again, where there's another 3 to 6 months, sometimes even 9 months waiting time.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
So this whole process will take way too long, way longer than we teachers want, way longer than you as a parent would want. But there's no way of speeding it up.
What do we do in the meantime?
The school will talk with the parents, see what it can do.
So the school can find a way together work with the parents to help. Okay.
If there's real cause, if the school really thinks, okay, this is going to be like that, we can already preliminary give some leeway here and there, like extra time on tests. It will not always happen. It's really up to the school and the relationship with the kid and the parents, the triangle that we like to see work.
Yeah. Okay. So if you could change one thing about how the Netherlands supports children with learning differences, what would it be?
I think I would like those kids to be in smaller classes. I think in classes of 30 kids, especially in the first years, they easily drown out.
Yeah.
And by smaller classrooms, they can get the need and the time that they deserve.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm sure there's still many questions to be answered, and please, when we're going to post it, you can ask your questions and Peter will answer them. You can also get some more information about Dutch educational system into Navigating Dutch Educational System Guide. You have here more explanation about the special education, and I think that's it for today, right?
Well, thank you for having me here.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes. He was scared shitless at the beginning. Really, he was. So.
Yep.
Yeah, me too, actually. And thanks again from Omroep Almere. And next week, I hope the Sam is gonna feel better, and you're gonna see him too live. So, tot ziens.
Tot ziens.